Hi, and welcome back to Blab.Cafe. This is a place where you can introduce your business, products, and or services. Today, we've got a couple of little hashtags up there. One is B2B and one is B2C. I don't know what you're into, but you are welcome. I also wanted to take care of some questions that I put up there. I actually put these questions up myself for the purpose of answering myself, because that's what I do. Let's see, here we got this one. I'm going to go ahead and put this up real quick. Top 3 reasons why your videos are not getting views. You don't have any videos. That's the number 1 reason. The number 2 reason is probably because you are either not tagging them correctly or you're not posting them to the right locations. And even if it's posted in the right location, sometimes you have to just go in and repost it and repost it and repost it. If you've only got a few, like a handful of videos, it's a good idea to share them out often. You know, there's really no other way of doing it. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, I'm going to get that one out of there. Okay, that one's pretty much answered. Let's see, get that one, move that one out of there. And then let's see. This is not really a question. It's more of a statement slash question. Why a solid connection and good lighting matter when doing your pitch? Because just for example, just yesterday, I had 2 people come in and they have something important to say, and both their audio and their video on either one of them were just so poor that when I played it back in the playback, it was so rough and so sketchy that I decided to just delete it completely. And I don't like to do that, but I will do that. If somebody's connection is so poor that I can't read it or see it or hear it, then I will delete it. So that's why you want a really good solid connection. You don't want to rely on Wi-Fi if you're doing a real business pitch and you care about your business pitch. If you don't give a shit about your business pitch, don't bother doing one. So that's it. Why a solid connection and good lighting matter when doing your pitch. Good lighting is having lights off that side coming towards you. You want to always have your lighting behind the camera pointing towards you. You never want to have your camera pointing into a window where the sunlight's coming through, because you'll just look like a little silhouette and you'll be just a dark mass with light coming over your shoulders, and that doesn't look good. You can't see it. It's not good at all. People want to recognize your face. They want to see you. They want to interact with you. They want eye contact. So that's one of the reasons why you want to make sure that you've got good lighting and a good connection. Okie dokie. So the next one, I just want to cover these really quick. So what do you expect to gain by your time spent on social media? And that includes all social media and video content. If you're out here just to lollygag and play around and think that this is not something of importance, then it won't be. If you're here and you have a real specific purpose in your message, or you really are looking to gain customers or clients, you really have to put your best foot forward. So I would say that regardless of what you're doing here on social media, especially these video streaming apps, to sit in a room for hours and hours and sit there and chit chat, that's not what I'm about. I'm about having people come in, get their recorded message about their business, get their links, and then move on. Because all this other stuff, it's what I call chaff, and it just blows away with the wind. It doesn't have any value, and it's not worth my time, and it's sure not worth your customers' time. So, okay, let me get rid of that one. Let's see, that one's answered. Move that one. And then another question, how many posts are too many? There's really no good answer for this, because it depends on the platform, and it also depends on whether the stream is static, or if you pin something, for example, and it stays in a location. So you know how you can use Twitter, you can actually pin messages to the top of your profile. So I mean, That in itself is a really good feature, because that means that anytime someone looks at your content, they'll see what you want them to see first, instead of it scrolling down in a way, just because you keep adding content, adding content, adding content. But how many posts are too many? When I see some from some of these people that are doing huge amounts of content, and I see 5 or 6 posts in a row coming down a stream, and they're just like one after another, that gets, for me, it's a bit tedious, because it's like, okay, I know you're here, I know you're live, ease off. But for some people, that's just their MOA, mode of operations. No, MOD. Anyways, you know what I mean. Mode of operation. Anyways, yeah. So you just got to watch it. I mean, really, I like to see stuff that's coming from person maybe once or twice a day. But I know there's people out there saying 6, 7, 8 times a day. So I don't know. You just have to work on that and see what's more effective for you. And then why my Instagram is first for me and of me. My Instagram page is all about my photography, and it's all for me. I don't care who likes it. I don't care who interacts with it, because I made that page for myself. And that might be something you might say, well, that's kind of harsh, or that's kind of rough. But it really doesn't matter, because that was not set up for me to be some kind of a sales page. So if I was doing that, then it would be a whole different story, and I would probably work it a little bit different. But if you take a look at that link, that's my Instagram page, and it's just photographs that I've made myself, or even screen captures in some cases. But for the most part, it's all my photography. So let's see, I'm going to close that one out, and we'll get underway here in a minute. Thanks for joining. Welcome back to Blab.Cafe. This is a place where you can introduce your business, products, and or services. Today we have Craig Carpenter in the house. How you doing, Craig?
Hey, how's it going? Good to meet you, Donald.
Nice to meet you. So you have would you call that an app, or what? I mean, how does this product work? It's called Relay.
It's a web-based app. It actually started as a desktop app originally, but it soon became very evident that with what we're doing, that it needed to live on the web, and people needed access to it from wherever they were.
Oh, that's cool. So exactly what does it do for me as a person, as a person
Sure.
that's on the internet?
Yeah, so the app is called Relay, and what we do is we allow people to take their content, branding, for example, their colors, their logo, any messaging that they have. And the unique thing about Relay is once you add those elements, we call them assets. Once you add those assets into Relay, our app actually designs the graphics automatically for every platform. So for example, in the couple clicks of a button, you could add your logo in, a headshot of maybe somebody you were interviewing, and then you could immediately look at the social graphics, the blog graphics for Pinterest, Facebook, and they're all sized and optimized perfectly for every platform with one single click.
Wow, that sounds great. I actually like the idea of that, because there was just there was a question of that just the other day when I had seen some banner, and the picture, it was a great big banner that had this little headshots that were about that big. I was like, going, who is that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think that there's nobody out there that could disagree that every platform has gone visual. Whereas before we were just tweeting, now we're actually tweeting with images, and the images are getting bigger, and they're going HD, and people are getting into video content and 360 video, and the entire internet. You know, it was visual before, obviously, but I think that people are finding new ways. For example, we have someone that launched a book. They took 50 quotes out of their book and used those as graphics to pull people back in towards their book launch. And you know, I think that a lot of people would ask, well, is this just another design app? What are you guys actually doing? Because there's a lot of people out in the space right now that are helping people create graphics. The difference between us and everybody else is that we take it one step further with a couple other tools And I'll just run through one or two features. For example, a lot of people are starting to do Facebook advertising where they weren't doing that before because Facebook pages don't get the reach that they want. We actually have a part of our app that once you type in your text, it it keeps the text under 20% so that you don't get rejected from Facebook. The other feature that we have that nobody else has is we allow people to add keywords in that they want to rank for. So I'm here in Boston, and if somebody had a pizza shop or an Italian shop and they wanted to rank for their I don't know, it could be anybody, real estate, any small business, you could add in Boston, realtor, best of, any home, any words that people are searching for, and our app automatically tags your images with those words so that when you upload them online, people can find you. And many of our users have been using that to just completely dominate their niche with traffic for Google image search.
Wow, that sounds pretty exciting. I'm just looking at that. I know this is probably the most oddest page to be looking at, but I'm sitting here looking at your pricing page right now, and I'd like to share that with the audience. But I think that is a good example of the way you do these collages. That I even recognize some of the faces that you're using on that particular collage. But yeah, that's one of the things that I was thinking about too. The whole idea of tagging, there's a lot of people that are getting that way wrong because they're putting some things on there that just they don't relate to their content, and you think, well, why are you going down that road? Because it's kind of pointless. I keep tagging very clean and concise. But
yeah, and the other thing too that's very different about us is we focus on lifting up people. And I think a lot of apps right now are focused on creating quote graphics and adding a photo from stock photography or some of the free photo sites that are out there. Right. We actually one other thing that I've done personally and other people have been doing is I'll go to a conference and there will be someone on stage. I'll go to their Twitter profile. I'll actually download their photo, and then from that immediately, I actually live tweet a graphic so that by the time they're done with their talk, that graphic has already gotten 5 or 6 people sharing it and liking it with the hashtag from the event. So it's a really cool way just to kind of show people, that you were listening to them and lifting them up. And I think that a lot of other apps don't do that. They focus more on just the quote graphics, if you will.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there. I've seen that happen before. So I'm going to just switch back over here and get back over here. Yeah, so that's great. I like that a lot. I will be interested in trying that out and seeing how it works for me. I think that's one of the things too. I mean, I've been pretty much when you consider bootstrapping and stuff. When I first came up with this idea about this type of show, I really decided to just buckle down and say, okay, these are the things I need to do, and just bam, bam, bam. So really, even the graphic I did myself. So yeah.
Well, I know that we're going to try and keep this pretty short, but the last thing I'll say about all this, Donald, is one of the things that I see all the time with entrepreneurs and startups is they spend way too much time on graphics that only a few people are going to see. And I'm not saying that in a negative way that, that you're not creating good graphics, but you could make the best graphic in the world. And if you put it out onto Twitter at the wrong time, nobody's going to see it, And so what we're focused on is get in there, get out, create your content as quickly as possible so that you can focus on the other parts of your business as opposed to just spending hours and hours trying to tweak a graphic and then rebuild that graphic and rebuild another graphic for a different platform. We just want people to simply click on it and be done with it. And we also have some other features in there that really make it easy to, like a no-brainer, even if you're a non-designer or a non-creative person. We have something called themes where you can, at the click of a button, we have one called Morning Coffee. You click that and it changes all the fonts, it changes all the colors in one click to mimic that theme. So you don't even have to worry about font pairings or color schemes or any of that stuff. You simply look at what you want instead of designing it. So I think it's definitely not a design tool. It's more of a productivity tool, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me too. Looks really cool.
Cool.
I'm going to be looking forward to playing around with it because I can probably get to work on using it tomorrow and just see what I could do with it. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's funny. People get in there and they kind of have they thought they were going to spend a lot of time learning it and maybe create one graphic, and they walk away and they're like, "Hey, I just created these 4 or 5 graphics," and it's a very empowering, exciting thing for people that don't know how to design, or even for designers. I mean, there's a lot of designers out there that focus on creating the logo and the look of everything, but they're not really interested in creating a Facebook cover for somebody usually. So this allows a designer to focus just on creating a really great looking brand and then empower their clients to do all the social media parts if they want to do it that way.
Right, right. So now one other thing too is how would you say, how would you describe the way that people are using this right now? I know that there's a lot of, I can see obviously that a lot of these people that are social media people that are already using it. But do you have any small businesses that are using it as well? Like almost like a standalone advertisement where you can maybe go in and make some brochures or something, or I don't know. You said Facebook page.
Yeah.
So
we don't compete with people that are doing print because we feel like, sites like, not to name drop, but there are sites out there like Vistaprint that creates business cards in a couple clicks, and we're not really interested in competing with that space. We want to just focus on what we do really well, which is focusing on blogs and social media. And something that's going to be coming here, this is where we have room to grow, Donald. I think that our app is really solid right now, and we have some room to grow. And what's going to happen is we're going to be able to point relay at a blog post, and it will automatically pull out the header, the logo, maybe a quote and the image. And what it'll do is it'll bring that into relay. And of course, you don't want to, point this at something that's not your content because you're getting a copyrighted information. But we want a business to come in and say, okay, we have a lot of content, but we don't have a lot of images that we can use to put on Twitter and bring people in. So we want a business to be able to point it at their own blog, and it will automatically bring in those graphics. And at the click of a button, literally, you will have all 8 graphics designed for you. Advertising, banners, headers, email headers, and then all the different social media images out there. And imagine how much time that would save for someone that is generating a lot of content but doesn't have a design firm or a team working for them, where they can then click and we actually allow them to share and schedule those graphics too. It's not our core business, but we truly are trying to create an end-to-end solution. In a couple clicks, you have all your graphics from content that you may already have and are not using.
Yeah, that's one thing too. I mean, I've just had to, work around the whole idea of different sizing for different pages. Yep. And that's one of the things that's very time consuming because you don't think about it until you go in there and you look at the graphic and you go, wait a minute, this really has to be optimized, because you don't want to waste a lot of space and you don't want to cram stuff in there that just looks kind of ridiculous because it's too small.
One of the most popular blog posts out there is, how do I, what size do I need to have for my Twitter header? What size do I need for Facebook? And we don't want people to even have to think about that. With Relay, they just come in and we don't even promote that they're Pinterest graphics. We just automate the entire process, to be honest with you.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so we're very excited about it, and we're at relaythat.com. Like I said, the app is Relay. We're at relaythat.com. We're also in our other social channels. It's called Relay That. We couldn't get relay.com, so we just went with Relay That because it's a nice verb. And R-E-L-A-Y. It's the proper spelling. Yes.
There's all these.
It's also, it's kind of fun. It's a play on words. We like to say we don't share things. We relay them to people. And also when you lay out your assets, you relay the assets. So it's definitely a play on words.
Man, you don't have to take it so serious, man. So that's great. So what I would do is, like I say to everyone, just go ahead and type your links into the chat bar, and I will extract them and put them into the show notes over on Twitter. And I will
Great.
be sharing this out in all of the major platforms. And I know you probably know more of the platforms than I do, but we'll work on that.
Well,
Thanks for
thank
stopping
you
by,
for having
Greg.
me on, Donald. I really appreciate it.
Sure. Matter of fact,
Hi, welcome back to Blab.Cafe. This is a place where you can introduce your business, products, and or services. Today I got Tony, Tony in the room. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Donald. Good to see you, man. Happy New Year, because I know I haven't seen you this new year.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, you probably saw me before I even purchased the Blab.Cafe domain name. That's the last time we spoke together. Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yep.
So I understand you've been taking the pounds off and getting better.
I have a ways to go.
Yeah.
I have a ways to go, but I'm happy about the progress that I'm making. And hold on one second.
All right. It's not like we're recording this or anything, because I am. No, it's okay. Well, at least the video content is like I said, I just mentioned this to someone else the other day. I had to delete a bunch of video content because the Wi-Fi system that they were using was just really super bad connection, and I was ashamed to delete, but you got to do what you got to do, because when you try to watch a replay like that, it's just more frustrating than good.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually come in again on another device. So I'm doing my own hacking of screen sharing.
Okay. All right.
So I'm actually coming in. I'm trying to. Did you close the seat?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, can you open it back up for me? Okay, so I'm trying.
Untitled. Okay. So that's you.
That's me.
Okay.
Okay, so we don't have any.
Okay, so you're just using your other camera.
Right. Mute that. Okay. Okay, so the sound should be good now.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to delete all this later.
Okay, so.
Hi, this is Blab.Cafe. Welcome back. This is Blab.Cafe number 89. This is a place where you can introduce your business, products, and or services. Today we've got Tony in the house. How you doing, Tony?
I'm fine, Donald. How are you today?
Pretty good. Pretty busy. Okay. So what kind of products you got?
Well, I'm selling a product. It's called Katopia. Okay. And it's a product that you use for 10 days. And it gets you into fat burning. And Don, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the term ketosis, but actually it's over 90 years old. And what happened was there were children who were having seizures, epilepsy. And these doctors came up with this formula or this way of eating that actually was able to stop the children from having seizures. Mm-hmm. It was very rigid, and it was very difficult for them to, they actually had to be hospitalized in order to stay on this diet. So fast forward to modern times, and we have high-profile athletes and Navy SEALs using this diet in order to prepare for missions or to work on conditioning for their upcoming seasons. And so we found that using quality fats like olive oil, coconut oil, real butter will make a tremendous difference in your life. And so it is the high-fat, low-carb diet. And this product, what it does is it helps you bypass the side effects of going from burning sugar to burning fat. and it works. I'm living proof. The first 10, there's a 10-day reset. The price of it is $149, and you use it for 10 days. You have 3 products that you take during the day. As I said, meal replacement, and you have a sensible ketogenic dinner. And what I've been able to do with this is I've been able to almost immediately get off my 3 different diabetic medications. I have lost more than 60 pounds. I have been energized to the point where I'm now exercising, working out every day.
Running marathons?
I'm not running marathons yet, but that's coming. And so it has made a tremendous. This is a diet, but I have coined the phrase keto lifestyle, because for me it is a lifestyle change. I never ever intend to go back to taking the diabetic medications. I was taking insulin injection. I was taking 2 different pills, and I was able to get off of those medications. Everything has improved. My blood pressure, my cholesterol level, and cholesterol level improving. You're eating fats. That's right, because I'm eating good fats. I'm eating grass-fed butter. I'm eating olive oil, coconut oil, and it is working. It works. And with anyone, I would say that is interested in this, please make sure that you have a conversation with your medical professionals. This works. This works. And so, there's a reason why Oprah is actually with Weight Watchers.
Oprah who?
Oprah Winfrey is with Weight Watchers.
I know there's only one Oprah. I was just teasing.
And so not only do you have the opportunity to improve your health with this product, you also have an opportunity to actually make funds. Now it is, I'll just tell you quite frankly, it is a multi-level marketing business. But this is the thing about it. The product works. And I would say that if you're not interested in multi-marketing, that's fine. But give the product a try. Just try the product. And the range that people typically lose between those first 10 days on the product is anywhere from 8 pounds to 15 pounds. I lost about 13 pounds in the first 10 days.
Wow.
And so since that time, I have adopted the ketogenic diet. Again, one of the benefits of using the product is that you get past the side effects that you typically deal with when you go from burning sugar to burning fat. And I didn't think that I would ever be able to give up bread and fried potatoes and fried chicken and all of that kind of stuff because I loved it.
Stop, you're scaring me.
Well, I'm just telling you that at this point, I don't even miss it. There are some great food choices. I don't have a lot on my phone, but I can put a couple of them in the screen.
Well, that's okay, because what I'll do is I will grab that link that you shared there, which is FGX, but that is also containing your link, which will basically put this person, obviously, because multi-level marketing is basically based on the idea that you're using word of mouth advertising because you use the product, you like the product, so you become a sales representative for the company and you sell it to other people. They can become representatives of the company, and so on and so on and so on. And it's actually a pretty nice, it's a nice thing. If you're looking to lose the weight, I can imagine for the people that really do struggle with cholesterol and all those other diabetes and everything else. If this product works and helps you, then I'm all for it. I would say too that if you're out to get to earn a living from some of these multi-level marketing companies, it is slow going because it takes you sales and relationship building. So you're building relationships and getting people to get into your downline, so to speak, but you're also trying to sell products at the same time. And it is slow going, but some people can do quite well at it. And I know because I've known a few people in multi-level marketing that have done really well. So yeah, but that looks like a pretty good product. And I'd like to try it just to see what it'll do to me.
I want to share one more thing, and
Yeah, go ahead.
this goes back to my over 17 years experience with diabetes. I want to say that it's important that we get a handle on it. Now, I talk a lot about, if you see me on other streaming platforms or in Blabs, you will see me talking about hacking your health. And the reason why I talk about this and try to share this information is because in the United States, there are over 80 million people in the United States who are either pre-diabetic or actually have diabetes and have not found out that they have diabetes. There are 30 million diagnosed people in the United States. So we're talking in the neighborhood of about 130, 140 million people who are dealing with diabetes in the United States alone. Not talking about Canada, not talking about Europe. And so the projections are there's going to be like 550 million people by the year 2030 that will have diabetes. And it has a lot to do with the food. And so I would say to anyone that's listening or might watch this replay that if you're not interested in the product, that's fine. But I'm going to ask that you please begin to make changes in your diet and cut the sugar where you can. It's important.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I agree. People are just, consuming way too much sugar. Yeah. Well, that's great. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to go ahead and ask you to share your links, and I will extract them and put them into the show notes, and we will put them over on YouTube, and I will go ahead and share this out. But thanks for stopping by, Tony. It was great.
Thank you so much, Donald. Appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity. I wasn't expecting. I was just coming in to say hi. So thank you.
Hi, and welcome back to Blab.Cafe. This is a place where you can introduce your business, products, and or services. Today we've got Jim Gephardt in the house. Gephardt or Gephardt?
Gephardt. That's
Gephardt.
Either's fine. Close enough.
So how you doing, Jim?
Great. Well, thanks for including me.
I really needed it. So what kind of projects are you involved with right now?
Well, I wear many hats, but
You're not wearing a hat.
The small business that I run is an event and entertainment company in Northeast Ohio. It's called My Life DJ Services, named after the Beatles song "In My Life." You may have heard it. Mm-hmm. And so we do a variety of events in the way of lighting and music and sound, weddings, corporate events, fundraisers, and that's pretty much what keeps me busy. I also teach part-time basic business management for an online school, which is a lot of fun. Entrepreneurship is my thing. I love to study it and follow it and interview people and whatnot. So so we're in our booking what I call the sprint to book events for the year. And then come April or May, we begin a long marathon where we fulfill all the contracts that we've booked, and primarily weddings, but not always.
Okay.
And so we're super busy right up to the end of the year, pretty much. I don't know where you're from, Donald, but here in Cleveland, we're all kind of hibernating. Winter finally came upon us. We've been very spoiled with a mild winter, but it's snowing and it's getting cold, and it's dark by 6 o'clock, so people are in hibernation mode.
Yeah, I'm from California, but I live in Denmark now, and we are also experiencing kind of like a late winter. So it just feels like everything's going really slow, and it just feels like it's going to be one of those ones that kind of get extended. So
yes, right.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the project that you're working on, though, because it sounds interesting. I think that's one of the things that when you come in, and most people are concentrating on doing a really short and concise pitch, but they don't really explain exactly what they do for their customers. Could you give a little more detail about that?
Yeah, I mean, what we do specifically is we are event disc jockeys and lighting specialists. So if you're planning a wedding or, you know, a fundraiser or whatnot, you would hire us to provide the sound system, the music. If you want to enhance the room that you're in, we can do that with lighting.
Cool.
And so that's the kind of thing we do ongoingly. My project this year is to create a structured training format for new people who want to come into the business, because I'm training a young man now, and every year it seems I get a handful of inquiries from mostly young guys, but sometimes women who want to enter the event planning or event entertainment field.
Mm-hmm.
And those that show promise, we, you know, begin mentoring and training, but it's been kind of informal and by happenstance. And now I see the need, and it just makes sense rather than go through everything, you know, in that informal manner, to kind of put something structured together. And I don't know if that's partly an online course along with, you know, field work with us, shadowing the DJs in the field, or how that's going to look. But one of my goals for 2016 is to have this thing figured out and pretty much done.
Well, I would
by
think
the end of the year.
One of the main things that you would want to do right off the bat, and you might even want to take notes, because I'm a wizard when it comes to this kind of stuff, and that is to take all of your content, regardless of if it's all video, written, whatever, if it's in a PowerPoint presentation, put it all into a package, look at it really good, and then take it to all of the different locations like Udemy and put it up as a course that's a paid course, because regardless of what you do in your hometown or in your local area, if you have a course that's up and running and it's posted on a place like Udemy or one of the others like Linda, that you'll start to generate an income from that right away. I mean, and there's no reason why you shouldn't. I mean, it sounds like you've got the, you know, you've got the expertise to put a nice
that
course
would be
together.
Fantastic. That's kind of what I've been thinking, and I've been looking at Udemy and Teachable. Is another platform that I've been tinkering with. But absolutely, there's no reason, and that would be great, because I know for people who are freelancers who are service oriented, we are often limited to our location. You know, like what is our travel radius? Yeah. So to have a product that I could offer to, you know, anyone in the world, essentially. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's a nice part about being on Udemy. You've got a global reach. Yeah, it's amazing. So what I'm going to do is ask you to go ahead and share your links and everything, and I will put those into the show notes. And if you just make a note yourself that this is Blab.Cafe number 89, and you will be able to find that over on YouTube in the morning. What I'll do is grab this link and post it in the into the chat bar, so you can find it a little bit easier. But yeah,
great.
Thank you. Stopping by, Jim. And I'm going to post this link for you so you can find that.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks for stopping by the Blab.Cafe. This is Blab.Cafe number 89. Thanks for stopping by and sharing your content, links, and everything else. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.